12-0 win over Victoria. To run through their side, Latonia Norris, Ayesha Kay and Tanisha Garling are the wingers. Callum Nonna and Shayla Barber in the centres. Calista Boyd and Kiana Toy the halves. Casilla Rapau and Matika Nielsen. Yankas Crime Gore is the front row. The back row, Ivana Shoba, Shara Togo and Reese Casey. Interchange Melody, Waipai Hana, Kirsty Cooper, Kagai Jiminy, Kira Muggeridge, Latia Sheaf and Jada Lafipo completing the Northern Territory side. As I was saying, their first win, it does keep them alive in the tournament. They do have to win both their games, though, to have a chance of reaching the final. You see them running out onto the side. They take on our defending champions, Western Australia. We'll be searching for a win as well to extend their lead at the top in the open women's standings. So Northern Territory will play Western Australia and then back up against the ADF. They must win both to have any chance of reaching the final. And what we saw out of them yesterday, you don't want to write them off. Great upset over Victoria, and some of the individual skill that was on show, particularly from the likes of Muggeridge and Latonia Norris. So 20 minutes periods in these open women's games. We've also New South Wales country in 2 games to finish in that final game at 11:30. New South Wales country and the First Nations Gems. It's looming as a knockout game. The winner should progress if results go as we expect, but never expect things to go to plan in rugby league. You just never know. And Western Australia will look to find that upset. Try and retain their title in the open women's. They've made to fight for their win in the opener against against Victoria, I should say. Just one single try, the difference. Wonder if that physical test will be a difference late in this one, as King has them out over their own 40. Pamare from dummy half. They spin it to the left this time. Good hands, good use of the footy early. They've made the break as well. It's Cave. Try scorer in the first game. Support not coming. Finds it here in Stevens. Already stretching the Northern Territory, and a penalty will help their cause as well. Just slowing down their progression. I'll get another set. 30 out from their own line. So defensive duties right off the bat for Northern Territory. As I mentioned, have to win both to have any chance of a progression. Toa Amoa play it 10 out from the line. They are lined out to the right. Turner calling for it. They'll put it through the hands. Look for Hira Harangi. Here she is, the number 4. Such a danger when she's got the footy in hand. Still alive for WA, and what's that final pass? Just pushing it. They did have a full set, but chance their arm, and the error will let Northern Territory off the hook for now. Here is the replay. Ariana Hiraharangi. Number of tries already here at the Harvey Norman NRL Women's Championship. We saw some thrillers yesterday, not only that game, Northern Territory and Victoria, but had a 0 or draw between Western Australia and the First Nations Gems, a rematch of last year's final. Attempt at field goal at the end. And until you find the way back, it's a loose ball. It's going to be a penalty though. Stripped out. Calista Boyd as well in the number 6. Scored an eye-catching try yesterday. Their first in that win over Victoria. Watch for her to try and spark this side. Her and Muggeridge are the two that bring the excitement for the NT, but they fail to find touch. Need to aim up in defence again. It's these little errors that can come back and cost you, particularly against the side like WA. Turner fighting out of 3 in the tackle. Turns it inside here to Mato. Lined up again. King drifting across field. A good one-on-one tackle by Jiminy. Still on the retreat. Here, Harangi. Jiminy again doing good defence out of marker. Halting the run. Last tackle now. Drea Turner calling for it. They go to the short side though. Barnett's away down here. It's going to be opening try. Good one-on-one tackle. Has she got it down though? No, she hasn't. It'll be a 20-metre restart. And what about the one-on-one defence from Norris? Here is the replay. Screaming for it on the left. They went down the right. And Barnett thought she was going to score. One-on-one from Norris. In touch. So another test passed by the Northern Territory. Boyd turns it inside. Fipo will play it. He'll play the ball too. Starting to get a roll on forward. Pretty lively first 5 minutes in this one. Muggeridge. Fight to halfway. Haven't had to do a heap of defence close to their line, Western Australia, in that game against Victoria, and to this point against the Northern Territory as well. Boyd mentioned her excitement. Scoots out a dummy half, puts a kick and leads the chase. It might set up for her as well. WA contend with it well enough. Warren at the back, doing her job, as the fullback should. Starting to really roll forward, Western Australia. Cave has them over halfway and slow to get back. Northern Territory, given the defence they've done early. Flat ball to the line. Drea Turner will play it. Have them stretched on the right. They go in that direction again. Here's Wall. Here Harangi steps back off the right. Now the left, palming them off. Last tackle now. Pomare. They'll put it through their hands. Turner helps it on. Lined up. They can get it wide, but it's going to come to nothing again. Be a turnover. Well, reminder, a full schedule here on NRL.com. 9 games live back-to-back today. We're in game number 2 in the Open Women's. Northern Territory and Western Australia. They put it through the hands. The Territory. Kay cuts back well. Norris steps off to right. Good palm too. Has them over halfway. Boyd out of dummy halves. Muggeridge drifts across field. Had them on the overlap. Chose to keep ball in hand was Casey. She does fight her way to the 40. All of a sudden it's WA retreating. Muggeridge goes to a short side. Is that a knock on? Knock back, they say. Boyd looking to run a blindside play. Muggeridge doing the kicking. Sit up in goal. It might even hit the woodwork. Finally bounces out. And we'll come back for a 20 tap. So well poised this one. 12.5 remaining in game number 2. The equation for Western Australia, well, they're currently sitting above New South Wales country by a point, courtesy of the win over Victoria. They can extend that with a victory here, while the NC have to win both to jump above the First Nations Gems, who will be in action later today against New South Wales country. That'll be a do-or-die affair for them. So every game matters, every point. Points differential could be used as well. So WA looking for first points here. Here Harangi. Brought down. 35 out from the line. Credit the defensive work of the Northern Territory though. Good one-on-one tackle there from Toy. They'll hang it to the left. Annika Stevens puts the kick in. Need to contend with this. They let it bounce. Dangerous, but no harm done in the end. We'll be with you, as I said, 9 games today, all live here on NRL.com in the Harvey Norman NRL Women's Championship. Now under 19 action kick off at lunchtime. Queensland Sapphires and New South Wales City from 12 p.m. It's a showdown for place in the under 19 final, and then the Queensland Rubies and New South Wales Country at 2 o'clock. That will also decide the winner of that group. So edge your seat stuff, and that's not even mentioning the finals tomorrow. We'll have the under-19s and Open Women's finals also live on KO, as well as NRL.com. Boyd out of dummy half. Flicks it out the back. They've got them lined up. They want 6 more, the NT. Eventually Muggeridge says, we'll just take the tackle and reset ourselves. Halfway point of this one. No points as yet. Casey. Just shy of the 40-metre line. Norris had a dummy half. Just ran out of ideas on that occasion. Muggeridge, swing it through the hands. Lafipo, good strong carry. Boyd doing the kicking again. Well contended with by Alex King. Has them back out over the 10. Penalty, too slow to get off. That's going to piggyback them off up the field. Also take some seconds off the clock. Well, we've already had one 0-0 draw. Western Australia involved in that one with the First Nations Gems. They will want the 2 points, WA, to ensure that they remain in top spot. And that does apply the pressure. New South Wales Country would have to win both games to jump over them in first spot. Gilmore Spence. Play at 30 out from the line. Given the sets they've had to defend on their line. Done well to keep it scoreless for now. Pomare. Lively in both games so far. That's a good, strong one-on-one tackle by Reece Casey. They're queued up to the right, WA, if they put it through the hands. Turner has King sweeping out the back. Here, Harangi should score for the corner. She does. Finally, the defensive line is broken. And it's no surprise, it's Ariana Hiraharangi. Look at the replay. Turner, the sweep play to King. 3 on the scene, but too strong. And Western Australia finally have their points. They were made to work for them. Had the majority of field position and possession. Now they lead 4 points to 0. Does leave a difficult conversion for Annika Stevens. She turned 4 into 6. Not going to come around. Not quite the connection she wanted. So it remains 4 points to 0. Western Australia. Let's look at that try again. mentioned the equation in front of Northern Territory. They need to win both of these games. First over Western Australia and then the Australian Defence Force to come in our next game. If we have any chance of progression to the final, top two will play off in our Open Women's Final tomorrow. We'll see that at 11 a.m. As I mentioned, live on KO Sports and also NRL.com. It's WA though, swarming, looking for more points as K's brought down. Second game back-to-back for WA, but showing no signs of fatigue. Last tackle now. Put it to the air once again. Test. At the back for Kay. It's one she passes. She is met in strong defence though from WA. Crunch from both Mato and Claire. Penalty will help them. Marker's not square. And just like the game against Victoria, they haven't iced this contest just yet. They've left the door slightly ajar for a fight back from the Northern Territory, and given the class they have, they put it through the hands this time. Barber. Once again met and dumped. They are aiming up here, Western Australia. Let's see Boyd get her hands on the footy more. Such a spark playing out a dummy half here today. Here she is, going for a scoot out of dummy half. Shows a dummy, but it was well read and well met one-on-one by Swanell. And she's lost the footy and all that, so WA back on the attack. I'm going to say it's been lost. A one-on-one strip and then lost. So the NT will have possession back. Here is the replay. So Swanell stripped the footy and then lost it as she tried to play it. So perhaps a bit of fortune for the NT. Can they turn that into points and give us a grandstand finish? So from the base of the scrum is Casey. Charging run from Wapau. Since it's going to be Boyd and Margaridge that sparks something. So too Norris. Steps off that right. Keeps the ball alive. Trying to get a shot at the WA line. As time ticks away. Margaridge helped on. Was it touched there by Western Australia? Is that 6 more? No. Dummy at the line is Toy, and she'll play it on the 40. Need to come up with something special here. It's Casey. Well read by WA. It's Margaridge who swarmed. Last tackle now. Need to find a repeat set. Casey's kick's a good one. May have too much on it. And WA just let it go out over the sideline. So no harm done in the end. 2 minutes left in this one. Our second game of day 3 in the Harvey Norman NRL Women's Championships. Second of 9. And the NT and the ADF to follow this one. Game's coming thick and fast, so too the action, and the stakes are only getting higher. Turner turns it into Mato. She's done some work today. It's still hard to stop. She is out over the 40 and still going. NT starting to really fight fatigue. They're slow getting back in the defensive line. Final minute of this one. I'll fling it to the left. Got numbers, but they kick through from Stevens. Juggled. They got to get caught in goal here. It will be a dropout. Here's the replay. They did have a two-player overlap, but decided to put it on the toe, and they got a good result anyway. And it does ice some seconds off the clock and make life very difficult for the Northern Territory. You'd imagine they'll go short here, and WA are well and truly onto it. And they get the bounce in their direction. No, Turner tidies that one up, and they'll have a couple of tackles to contend with. They look on their way to 9 points from their 5 games, which would be 4 wins and a draw. Defending champions. Will be booking a ticket to the final to defend their title, and it's just a matter of who they'll play against. Last tackle now. That will do it, and Western Australia, they have done their job in their 2 games today. 2 wins for them, both slender, just a single try in their wins over Victoria and the Northern Territory. But you take them however they come, and it leaves them on 9 points from their 5 games. As I mentioned, 4 wins and a draw. New South Wales Country can only jump above them if they win both their games today. That would set up a New South Wales Country WA final, but the First Nations Gems can be contenders as well if they beat New South Wales Country. So ramifications will play out. Let's look at that try. And it was their X-Factor in Ariana Harangi who scored it. Real one to watch this tournament.
Which is approximately 9 minutes away.
Slams the ball down, and that has them progressing to the final. Remains to be seen who their opponent will be. Plenty of games to come. Up next, the NT and the Australian Defence Force. Quick break from us. We'll return with Game 3.